Hello everybody, and welcome to Maro's Mind, Body, Spirit Week. I'm so excited to be here. My name is Theo. Some of you might know me from my Instagram at TheoDoesMakeupSometimes, or you've seen me dancing at a fesh. I'm also a dancer. I dance for the Doherty-Petri school. I'm in the under 18 age group. I've been dancing for about 14 years now, and I've been doing makeup for around 5. So this is very exciting. So today I'm going to be showing you guys how to do this look right here, which is perfect for feshes and majors. It's the look that I use on myself and my clients. It's very universal. It works for all eye, skin, hair, dress colors, you name it. And it holds up very well under sweat and lights and tears, everything that occurs on dancing day. So I hope you enjoy this video. Be sure to like it, subscribe to the channel, check out all the other videos for Mind, Body, and Spirit Week, and without further ado, let's get into it. Hello! We are up close and personal right now because we are going to be starting off with eyes today. Now the first thing I'm going to be doing is eyebrows. So I'm going to be taking the Brow Wiz from Anastasia Beverly Hills in the color dark brown. That actually turned out better than I thought it would. We have less cleaning up to do. Now I'm going to do the other brow off camera and I'll be right back. Okay, so brows are done now. As you can see, they are a little intense, but that's what concealer's for. So I'm going to be taking the KEVYN Sensual Skin Enhancer, and it's this, I guess it's this type of like thick, moussey textured concealer that is great for, not only cleaning up eyebrows, but also for priming the eyelids for eyeshadow. So to do this, I'm going to be taking a flat eyeshadow brush. With this in particular, a little bit goes a very long way, so keep that in mind. And then you can take some of it and go above your eyebrow if needed. I don't really need to do it here, but I'm just showing you guys in case you got extra brow product up there. And with that, we are ready for eyeshadow. Okay, so for eyeshadow today, I am going to be using the Morphe x JACLYN Hill Ring the Alarm palette. It is part of her Vault collection. So the first shade I'm going to be taking is this dark brown over here called Secret. And I'm going to be using a smaller fluffy crease brush. So as you can see, I'm not really blending this in right now, I'm just packing it on because it will be blended out later. Now that that's on there, I'm going to be taking a MAC 217 brush. It's on my hand. And I'm going to be taking the color Alert right here in the corner. And I'm just going to be taking that right above and even into the dark brown territory. It is going to look a little ridiculous right now. As you can see, I have kind of an interesting, it looks like it's a little unblended shape going on, but that is more than okay because now we are going to cut the crease and then it's all going to come together after that, trust me. So to cut the crease, I am going back to the KEVYN concealer, and I'm taking a smaller flat brush. This one's from Morphe. Cut creases are tricky because, you know, some people's first instinct is to just follow your crease exactly so you can see where mine, you know, where your eye opens. But the goal of this, because you're going to be on stage, the goal is to make your eyes look bigger and have them pop more. So when we do the cut crease, we are actually going to go above where our natural crease line is. So even when your eyes are open, you still have the effect of a higher crease, bigger eyes. The focus of this is really going to be closer to the inside of your eye in the middle of it, but you do want to blend this towards the end slightly And you can even use your finger for this. I actually prefer to use my finger for this on myself, sometimes on clients. Normally on clients I use a brush to do it, but if you're doing it on yourself, feel free to use your fingers. And just kind of lightly tap and drag. So now I am taking another flat eyeshadow brush, and with that I'm going to be taking the Bobbi Brown Sheer Finish Pressed Powder in the shade Pale Yellow and just patting that on. To blend out the top a little bit more and to set the concealer that's left on your brow bone, as well as give it the same brightening effect, you're going to take a little bit more of that powder on the same brush and lightly go over the brow bone. We are going back into the JACLYN Hill palette, and we are going with the same brown that we were using before, Secret. Now, going back to the MAC 217 brush and back into the color Alert, just blending out like we did before. Now that eyeshadow is done, I'm going to be taking the Kat Von D Tattoo Liner in the color Trooper. Well, that's the end of the eyes, for now at least. I am going to be doing the other eye off camera, then I will be back to do the face. So first up, for the face, I am going to be taking the Smashbox Photo Finish Super Light Smooth and Blur Primer. For foundation today, I'm going to be using the Makeup Forever Ultra HD Foundation in the shade R230. Now I am obviously using a shade that matches my skin tone, but for major competitions, if you are spray tanned, you will be using a darker foundation. And the foundation that I normally use, same formula, different shade. I use the shade Y425. Y435 is also good too, but this one is nice because it's not too dark, it's not too orange. And the great part about this formula is that it's specifically made for photography and bright lights. So it looks great on stage, in pictures, and it stays on under the sweat. And I am taking a buffing face brush from Real Techniques. This is the Expert Face Brush. And if needed, it is a good thing to take some of it down onto your neck. Sometimes you have to take it all the way down your neck. I'm only taking it to about here, just for it to blend nicely between my jawline and my neck. But this color is honestly a pretty good match for me, so I don't necessarily need to take it all the way down onto my neck. However, if the foundation is a particularly bad match for you, then I would suggest taking it down onto your neck. And also get a foundation that's a good match for your skin. Now for concealer to brighten up the under eyes and cover any blemishes you might have. So for me, I have one right here. And to highlight, specific areas of your face. So some people might want to highlight their foreheads a little bit more, or the bridge of their nose, or their cupid's bow, or their chin, which I am actually going to be hitting all of those areas as well as my under eyes. I am going to use the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer in the shade Affogato. If I were to be using a darker foundation, the shade I would use is this one right here. You can see the difference. But for today, I'm going to be using Affogato. now that you have your war paint on, you have to blend in the war paint so you don't look like this when you go on stage. And I'm going to be taking the same Real Techniques brush that I used to apply my foundation and just blending that out. Now it's time for one of the most important parts of this entire routine, which is setting powder. So the setting powder I use is from Mercier. It is the translucent loose setting powder, but I also like using the Fenty Beauty Pro Filter powder. Both of these are great powders, but for today I'm going to be using the Mercier powder. Now, the reason why I say that setting powder is so important is because you are going to be on stage, you're going to be dancing, you're going to be sweating, and the last thing you want is for all of this to melt off while you're on stage. So, make sure to pack this on. Do not be shy with this. So I'm just packing this into my skin. And don't worry about blending it out because we are going to let this sit, and some of you may have heard the expression baking. We are going to be doing that, and then we are going to brush away the excess later. Okay, so next step, we are going to be doing bronzer / contouring. So for that, I'm going to be using the Tarte Hotel HEIRESS Amazonian Clay Matte Waterproof Bronzer. That was a mouthful. I'm taking a fluffy face brush and swirling it in there. Now, to kind of make that a little bit smoother on the side right here, I'm going to be taking a smaller fluffy brush, and this one's from Morphe, and I'm just going to be lightly, oh, this is a clean brush, by the way, no product is on this, and I'm just going to kind of blend that out on the bottom, just so you don't just have a brownish orangey line on the bottom of your face, because that is not a cute look. I'm doing a little bit up here, but it's honestly not too harsh. With that same clean fluffy brush, I am going to be wiping off the excess setting powder that we put on before. Now I'm going in with blush. So normally I would use this palette from Morphe, however this exact blush palette is not around anymore, but Morphe does have a bunch of other great blush palettes right now. They're all on their website, they're all super affordable, they're great, highly recommend. But for this video's purposes, I'm not going to be using this since this is not available right now, but I am going to be using this Rose Cut Gems blush palette from JOUER, which is available on the Sephora website. And it's a really pretty blush palette with this highlighter in the center, which we aren't going to be using today, but it is good. Today, I'm going to take Kiss Me. Now, an important thing to remember in this step is to not be shy with your blush and bronzer, because, again, you are going to be on stage with bright lights, and you don't want to be looking like a ghost up there. You want to look like you have life in your face. Now that we are almost on the face, we are going to go back to the eyes and finish up. So the first thing I'm going to do is take this eyeliner from Marc Jacobs. It is a gel waterproof eyeliner. It's in black. This step is optional, but I do strongly recommend this just to make it more dramatic. I'm going to be taking this in my waterline. So right in there. So now that you've done that, it is time to smoke out your under eyes. So we are going back in with the Morphe x JACLYN Hill palette. Using that same small fluffy brush as before, we're going in with Secret and lightly blending this very close to your lash line. So now that you've smoked that out, you want to bring some of the brightness back right underneath your eyes, closer to your inner corner. So we are going back in with the Bobbi Brown face powder and the same flat brush that we used before to cut the crease, and just lightly blending that with the brown. So now, before we apply our fake eyelashes, I am going to be highlighting my face, and for this I'm going to use the Anastasia Beverly Hills Sugar Glow Kit, and this is a gorgeous palette, and I'm going to be going in with this color right here. This one is called Marshmallow. Again, if you were spray tanned, you were using darker foundation, concealer, face makeup all together, you would not be using the same, you know, white gold highlighter as we are now. If you were to use the same palette, I recommend going in with Butterscotch right here. It is a deeper gold color, so it'll look great on darker foundation and darker skin tones as well. I'm taking a little bit of it on the brush and just popping it on the top of my cheekbone. And I take it on my forehead right here. I take it on the bridge of my nose. Cupid's bow. And chin. Notice it's a lot of the same places that we used to brighten up with the concealer before. We want the light to be drawn to those places more. So that's the point of doing the lighter concealer in those places and the highlighter. So next I am taking that same highlighter from the Anastasia palette on a very small brush right here, and I'm using this to highlight my inner corners. I'm taking some on my brow bone as well. So the lashes I'm using today are the Ardell Remy lashes. These are some of my favorites. They're very nice, super dramatic, but the good part about them, and I'll show you, is that they have a very thin lash band, so they conform to the shape of your eyes very easily. They don't feel like anything very heavy on your eyes. It doesn't poke you in the eye. It's just very light, and eventually, after a few minutes, you almost forget they're there. So that's why I really like these ones. An important step in doing fake eyelashes is actually cutting them, which is a step that a lot of people actually tend to neglect sometimes, but it's a very important factor to consider because a lot of lashes do come and the band is quite long this way. You want to cut the corners off like this, which I will do to fit the shape of my eye a little bit more because I think these are a little bit big for my eyes. Not terribly, but I'm just going to cut the inner and outer corners of them just so it fits and so it doesn't look like it's hanging off my eyes. I'm going to do these off camera because it tends to be easier to do them off camera. Let me tell you, that was a struggle. I have not put eyelashes on since the Oireachtas, so it's been a while. But anyways, this is what the lashes look like once they're on. And now the next step to make sure that your natural eyelashes are perfectly blended with your fake eyelashes and to give some definition to your lower eyelashes, it is time for mascara. I have two options for you for this. The first one, this is the more expensive one, is the Too Faced Better Than Sex Waterproof Mascara. And it has a great thick wand. Many of you have probably already heard about this one. It is a great option and it does not come off. Another good option, this is a cheaper one that you can get at your local drugstore. It is the L'Oreal Voluminous Lash Paradise Waterproof Mascara, and it is very similar to the Better Than Sex one, as you can see. This one, again, does not budge. For this video, I'm going to use the Lash Paradise one. Now that we have the eyes fully completed, this is what they look like. We are going to move on to the lips, and then we are almost there, guys. To start off the lips, I am taking the Urban Decay 24/7 Glide On Lip Liner in the color Gash, which is a nice deep red. Now the final thing I'm using for lips is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Liquid Lipstick in the color Sarafine. It's a nice bright red, and this is great because it is a matte liquid lipstick and this stuff does not move. You can eat with it and it still will be there. You will have to reapply a little bit just to make sure it looks fresh. However, it's like a tattoo, it stays on. And that's a lipstick. Now the final step, ladies and gentlemen. Can I get a round of applause? I am using setting spray now. This is an optional step. I have forgotten to use setting spray plenty of times and my face has been fine. This is just an extra, I guess, security blanket for your face. So, shake it up and spray. Soaked. And that's the final look, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you learned something. Make sure to like it and subscribe to the channel. Leave any comments if you have any. Say hi. Whatever you want. Go for it. Just say something. Make sure to follow the Mid-Atlantic Oireachtas Instagram page as well as my makeup page at TheoDoesMakeupSometimes for more pictures and content like this. Some more creative stuff. You never know, it's a mixed bag. It's a good time. I recommend. See you over there. Make sure you stay tuned for the rest of Mind, Body, and Spirit Week on this YouTube channel. Check out all the other videos, give them a like, subscribe. Again, thank you all for taking the time out of your day to watch this video. I hope to see some of you at local feshes and some majors very soon. But for now, stay safe, stay healthy. Thank you guys. Bye.